security researcher Alexander Hampth recently discovered that Google Chrome is quietly downloading a 4 GB file called weights.bin to local user devices. This is Gemini Nano, an AI model that arrives without a notification or a request for consent. Until very recently, using AI required an active choice. You went to a specific website, typed a prompt, and watched the cursor generate a response. It was a tool that existed only when you asked it to. That relationship is changing. Google is now testing an internal agent called Remy, designed to execute multi-step tasks across different services on its own. These systems operate as agents, moving beyond simple responses to continuously research and iterate in the background. This shift relies on a significant jump in accuracy. The new GPT-5.5 instant, for example, scored over 81 points on the AMIE math test, a sharp increase from previous versions. This jump in logical performance reduces the hallucinations or errors that used to require a human supervisor, allowing companies to let these agents run 24/7 without oversight. AI is transitioning into an invisible layer of digital infrastructure. As these systems move from external websites to background processes, we are trading our active agency for the convenience of automated execution. The labor market is feeling the first effects of this trade-off. Coinbase recently cut 14% of its workforce, following thousands of layoffs at Oracle. Brian Armstrong cited a fundamental change. Non-technical staff can now use AI to deliver code, and traditional management layers are being stripped away in favor of AI-born talent, who manage swarms of automated agents rather than human teams. This is the logic of a hyper-optimized economy. By weaponizing AI to maximize margins, corporations are actively displacing a white-collar workforce that was once considered insulated from automation. However, some developers are pushing back against this trend. Munfish, the studio behind Atomic Heart, has taken a different stance. While acknowledging that neural networks can speed up the early stages of a project, Munfish has explicitly refused to integrate generative AI into their production. They argue that while the technology saves time, it cannot replicate the specific intent and soul required for creative work. The corporate world is making a definitive choice, sacrificing human livelihoods and creative friction to secure the cheap, relentless output of an automated swarm. This trade-off is also reaching into our personal psychology. A survey of nearly 4,000 young Europeans reveals a shifting landscape of trust. For the first time, more youths feel comfortable discussing their mental health with a chatbot than with a human doctor. 51% of respondents find it easier to talk to AI, citing its constant availability. But this comfort comes as nearly 30% of these young people meet the criteria for generalized anxiety disorder. Health experts warn that relying on a language model for intimacy doesn't address the root of the problem. It replaces human relationships with a simulation, potentially deepening the social isolation that causes anxiety to begin with. We are trading the difficult but necessary friction of human connection for the hollow, frictionless empathy of a digital confidant. This acceleration is even reaching our energy grid. Traditionally, approving new nuclear fuel takes decades of physical testing, irradiating and destroying pellets in a lab to prove they won't fail under extreme pressure. To bypass those years of manual testing, the US is now using AI to create digital twins. These are complex simulations that predict how fuel behaves, allowing researchers to skip thousands of blind physical experiments. The pressure to approve these advanced reactors is largely coming from the tech industry. AI data centers are consuming electricity at such a high rate that traditional power sources can no longer keep up. There is a deep irony here. The same AI models capable of perfectly simulating nuclear physics are also capable of identifying the precise weaknesses needed to design catastrophic cyber attacks against that infrastructure. In response, the US government has created the Center for AI Standards and Innovation. They are now forcing companies like Google, Microsoft, and Elon Musk's AI to submit their models for security vetting before they are ever released to the public. The race to expand our computational capacity is forcing us to trade away the baseline security of our most critical physical systems. AI is moving from the screen into the physical world. Meta's recent acquisition of assured robotic intelligence signals a future where software no longer just generates text, it controls movement. This creates an urgent need for a concept borrowed from nuclear safety: the human in the loop. As we automate everything from mental health triage to reactor modeling, a human must remain the final, unbypassable checkpoint. The model can provide the data, but only a human can be held responsible for the result. AI is a powerful tool for optimization, but as these systems move toward total autonomy, our greatest challenge is fiercely defending our consent and our agency. We must ensure that we never automate our...
Thank you for watching. For more professional AI insights, remember to like this video and subscribe to AI Corecast.